Hey everyone, let's get started.
One of the first things you want to do if you're making dill pickles is, if you didn't just pick the pickles, you want to put them in some ice cold water for at least 30 minutes. That'll help to make the pickle crispy instead of it being soggy. Another thing you're going to want to do is trim off this blossom end right here. That'll keep your pickle from being so soggy too. So those are the two first steps you want to do to make sure you have a good crispy pickle. And I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes or so. I've got my pickles soaking in the ice water. I'm going to go ahead and make my brine. And now my recipe says that I need to use 6 tablespoons of fine sea salt or 9 tablespoons of coarse grained sea salt. And here I have my Himalayan salt again. And it's kind of in between. It's not real fine, but it's not really coarse. So I think I'm going to split that, maybe do about 7 tablespoons of sea salt to 8 cups of water. So, and it usually takes a little bit of time for this to dissolve, so it's good to do this ahead of time so that your salt is dissolved well while you're waiting for the cucumbers to get crispy. Six, 7. Okay. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you stir this up real well. Try to make sure the salt is combined good in the water. And then I'm going to just let this sit for a little while and stir it off and on to try to get those to dissolve. Now, with the Himalayan salt, it does have some other minerals in them, and some of them just don't dissolve very well, so I don't really worry about that. And you'll be able to tell that it's a different mineral than the salt. It'll look a little bit darker. But I don't think that really causes a problem with the brine. So we're just going to let this soak for a little bit and let it dissolve while our cucumbers are still soaking in the ice. So I've just gotten done soaking my cucumbers in ice water for 30 minutes at least. You can do it a little bit longer. This helps to make them crispier if you didn't just pick the pickles. And then I also trimmed off the blossom end. This end has an enzyme in it that'll interfere with the pickle getting crispy. So if you just trim off that end, that'll really help. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 cloves of garlic in a half-gallon jar. This is so easy. You're just going to throw the garlic cloves in there peeled. And then I have measured out here 2 teaspoons of dill seed. You can also add 2 to 3 fresh dill heads if you'd like. But I'm just doing the dill seed today. Now, another way that you can make these crispier is to add something to the water that has tannins in it. You can either get a clean oak leaf, you can get a grape leaf, or you can add black tea, loose black tea. And I've got some organic black tea here. So I'm just going to add 1/4 teaspoon of black tea to my half-gallon jar. And the tannins in that will help make the pickles crispy. Okay, and then I'm just going to add my pickles. And you can slice these if you want. I like doing them whole, but you can do either one. You can slice them up if you'd rather have them sliced. Okay. Okay, and once you get those added, let's see, let me put a smaller one in there because I don't want that to stick up too much. Okay. And once you get that added, you're going to take your brine that you made and pour that over the top of your pickles. And you're going to want to leave about an inch of head space, but try to make sure you get your pickles covered. Okay. We're going to do the final but very important step. We're going to put the airlock lid on. And I've got one that's called a perfect pickler. You don't have to use that. You can use just a tight fitting lid if you'd like. I like using this because I just think it's a little bit better. But with this, you're going to put that in there first to create the air chamber. And then you're going to screw this lid on tightly. And as you can see, I've got the water there to the line and the lid on the top. And then I'm going to let it do its thing. It'll just sit here on the counter for 3 to 7 days. And it's really kind of fun to watch because after a couple of days you'll see a lot of bubbles start coming up through this tube, and that'll let you know that it is fermenting. And the great thing about this is you don't have to can them. When you get done, you just put a regular lid on them and you stick them in the refrigerator, and they'll last for months like that. So to me, it's so much easier than canning, and I never had very good luck with canning pickles. They always ended up being soggy or soft, and they never were good and crispy. At least for me, I just never could get it right. So this to me is an easy solution, and you're also getting the benefits of eating another fermented food. So there you have it. They also have a sweet pickle recipe, and I've been getting a lot of my recipes out of this book, Fermenting Foods. She is amazing, has a lot of wonderful recipes in here, so I wanted to give credit where credit's due. I've learned a lot from her, so you might want to check out this great book if you're interested in doing more fermenting. And I'll also try to add more videos just to kind of show how it's done. So there you have it, some good garlic dill pickles.